What is up, guys? Tomcat here, and today we're back in SpinTires Mud Runner taking a look at a brand new mod. Now, this is a Ram 3500 by Brute, and you can see that there's been a few different modifications to this truck, mainly the suspension and the front bumper, but this is also a long bed truck, which makes it actually kind of interesting because it's one of the few fourth-gen long bed Rams that we've seen, and I think maybe have ever seen throughout the series of mods that have been released for this game. Now, there's quite a few modifications that you have available to you on this truck. You have an antenna for the rear, and I'm going to go through all the modifications. You have an antenna for the rear. You can do an exhaust, which is basically, that's an axle dump exhaust, which you can do if you want. You can do a hood stack, which is actually quite cool. I've been waiting for somebody to do a hood stack on a truck. You can do a stack in the bed, and then that's about it as far as exhaust mods go. I'm going to put a hood stack on the gray truck and just see how that works. You can do a flatbed, but you need the gooseneck hitch first. So we're going to go ahead and I'll show you that as we go. You can do the fuel and toolbox. You can do the headache rack if you want. You can do the gooseneck hitch, which you need for the gooseneck trailer. You can do a log trailer or the flatbed trailer itself. I'm going to show you guys both. You can also do a toolbox in the front of the bed, which gives you 15,000 repair points, 4 garage points, and a fuel capacity of 150 liters. And that's about it as far as modifications go. So what we're going to do is we're going to set off with this particular truck and head down to the lumber area and pick up a load of lumber and see how this thing does hauling a load of lumber. Now, it already is, I can tell you, one of the best, if not the best looking, 4th-gen Ram mods so far in the game. I really like how it looks very well tied together. I mean, you can see that it looks very much like a modified work truck. It doesn't look like a show truck. It doesn't look like a stance truck. It looks like a modified work truck. And, of course, you kind of expect that with it being one of Brute's mods. I mean, they don't really make anything other than, Brute and Spun don't really make anything other than function-focused off-road trucks. But of course, we need people to fill each niche, and they definitely do a good job of filling that particular one. So, the thing that I really like about this truck, so far anyway, is that it feels like you feel when you're driving it along, you just feel like you're driving something that's got a bunch of power behind it and a bunch of torque behind it. You feel like you're driving a proper truck, and I think that kind of goes along with it goes along with the Rams in general, like 3rd gen and 4th gen specifically. I mean, I know there's a lot of 2nd gen guys out there too, but the 4th gens to me are some of the most some of the angriest looking trucks that you'll see on the road. Like, genuinely some of the angriest looking trucks that you'll see out there. Now, the automatic mode has 6 gears, and high range is about the equivalent of 3rd. So that's going to be, kind of your midway. If you want to be able to stay, flat on the power, but you want kind of mid-range gear, that's where you're going to be, is in high range. If you're just cruising down like a paved road, you're going to be in automatic mode because you're going to be in 5th or 6th. It hasn't, oh, there we go. I was kind of wondering when it was going to touch 6th because it hadn't yet. It was just like hanging out in 5th and not really doing much. Now, let's see how the automatic gearbox programming in this truck is. It went all the way back to 1st when we got onto the dirt, which is not brilliant. It's not great in terms of how an automatic gearbox should react. Although it's doing better now, it only went down to 2nd there instead of going all the way back to 1st, which I kind of expected it to go all the way back to 1st, considering how it acted when we first transitioned onto the dirt entirely. Now, the interior view is actually insane, because if you look in here, I'm just gonna stop and show you guys around the interior view for a minute. The windshield is it's perfect. You can see everything out of the windshield. You can see the hood stack working. But the center stack and, the driver passenger seat, center console, the back of the truck, the headache rack, you can see everything in here is detailed. The actual 4th gen Ram steering wheel is here, and it turns. It works. You've got the turn signal stalks. It's pretty mind-blowing what kind of interior we have. Because most of these interior views in the mods, in different modded trucks, are not usable. But this one is actually usable, and I would actually use it because it literally feels like a proper interior view. It's something I would use, and that's not something I can say for a lot of interior views on modded trucks, genuinely. Now, we're almost up to the area where we're going to pick up some lumber, and I like to use this map for lumber demonstrations because it's probably the quickest and simplest log station to get to. It also allows you to drive the truck a little bit in both directions, and you can kind of get a feel for it. But let's go ahead and pull into the lumber area We'll get this thing loaded up. And it allows you to also do like a pickup and drop off pretty much wherever. Oh, God. All right. Oh, position your truck properly. Position your truck properly. Position your truck properly. So, medium logs. Hold down. And there's 4 lumber points. It was weird. It looked like when they spawned in, it looked like the trailer kind of bowed in the middle. I don't know if that was just me or if anybody else saw that, but that was kind of, that felt sketchy. I was like, holy crap, is my trailer going to snap? Like, please don't, you know, not what I need at the moment. I just want to get this thing back to the drop-off point, to the lumber mill. Now, if I put it in high, will it just sink or will it dig in and grip? It's going to sink. I can already tell you guys with that, it's going to sink. It pulls well, though. It pulls well in third, like, well, I should say in third, in low 3. I mean, going up this hill is a great test for these trucks because, like, once you get down the hill, you load up with lumber, you're going to be pulling a pretty substantial weight up this hill, and I think that that's, again, what makes this map a really great place for, like, lumber haul testing, because, honestly, you're going to run into, like, everything you run into here, you're going to run into on other maps, be it more of it or less of it, but this gives you a place to test out all of it to see how the truck will react. Now, let's give it a little bit of a test in automatic mode while pulling the lumber trailer. And let's see if the automatic gearbox just gives up and goes back to first. It went back to first immediately. It didn't even try to go back to second. It was just like, no, you need first, and you need it now. See how the lights look. The lights are very, yeah, the lights are very Brute style. That's what I was expecting. Brute's lights are not extremely, like, bright during the day. They're just kind of like, you just see them there, but, and I don't know how I feel about the blue lights. I'm not a massive fan of them personally. Like, I like them on the mirrors and the roof, but I feel like the headlights need to be changed. I feel like the lights in the headlights need to be changed, or at least that's what I would do, is I would change those, but we're rolling along now in third with this massive log trailer on the back. Through the mud, I mean, until we hit that rock, but it does very well, actually. It does very well in terms of, you know, pickup trucks that can haul logs. I mean, it's pretty damn good, actually. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Will it go for fourth? That's what I want to see, is will it go for fourth? And, oh, God, the block post is over here, isn't it? Yeah, the block post is here. Completely forgot about that because the last time I was here and I dropped off some lumber, I ended up basically driving around this because I had lumber in the bed of a truck, and I was able to just drive around the block post. This, not so much. This, not so much, just because of the simple fact that I've got a gooseneck trailer loaded down with lumber, and I am not going to be able to just take it through the woods. It'll get snagged. It'll get snagged on something. I don't know what it'll get snagged on, but it'll get snagged on something. Yeah, block post closed. Now, interesting thing about the block posts is, well, something I've never tested, and I'm going to go ahead and test right now, is, let's see, we're going to outfit this one a little bit differently. Stack, antenna, and toolbox. So this one's outfitted a little bit differently, and this is what it will be. This is what it's like to drive it in automatic mode with no trailer. We're already up into fourth. It changed down to third to get through this mud. Went back to first. The gearbox is very quick. I have to admit, the gearbox reacts very quickly to stuff, but it's a little bit, it's better than you would expect with a trailer, and without a trailer, it's actually quite good. It's not quite as good as some of the other ones I've used recently, but it's still very, very good. It's still up there. I definitely think it's up there with the upper, I would say definitely the upper quarter of automatic gearbox programming in MudRunner. I think it does a good job. Again, high is about the equivalent of third, but when you put it into automatic, like with no trailer, this thing should rip to sixth, no problem. What I'm going to try and do is, okay, block post is open. Block it with that. Oh, it will literally close on the other truck. So they thought of that. Okay, I have one more idea. I want to see if this works or not. One more idea. Open that, and then if I attach a winch to this truck, like if I winch from one truck to the other, and the truck that I'm winching just so happens to have a lumber trailer on it, I wonder if they'll still consider that a, oh, no. Ha! What? Whoa! Okay, so that's actually hard programmed into the game. Okay, I didn't actually think it would be hard programmed in like that, but it is, and it's actually quite surprising that it is, but I want to see how this thing does pulling a, you know, like pulling an actual truck behind it. So let's recover to the garage and put the actual gooseneck hitch and the flatbed on it. Why do we... What? Let's say that's weird. You can't do it because of the antenna. Okay. I do also want to see how this responds compared to some of the other flatbeds I've used as of late, because some of the flatbeds I've used recently have been a little bit strange. I think strange is probably a good way to put it. Like, sometimes they just don't respond the way you would think they would, and I think that that's partially due to, you know, iffy programming, but this one's got anchors and ramps, so, but I'm just going to go ahead and use the ramps. I think the ramps are probably all we're going to need here. And the nice thing about this particular trailer is the fact that it's long. Well, not the trailer, but the ramps. The ramps on this trailer are really long, and therefore they'll allow you to load stuff up easier. Now, let's try it with this truck. This truck freaked out another modded gooseneck recently, so I don't know if it'll be able to climb up onto that trailer, but if not, we'll get the other ram, and I know it'll be able to climb up, no problem. Alright, let's see how you do. Come on. How does it get... Okay, it's like, I'm on target, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I'm over to the left. Completely. Are you going to freak out? No! That's actually really surprising that it didn't freak out. I'm kind of blown away that it didn't freak out. Oh god. Fell off the side though. The truck is so wide that with it being just about the same width as the trailer, if not a little bit wider, it makes it a little hard to load it up onto it. But we're going to try one more time now that I know that it can be done, because some of the trailers, like I said, just don't like to work with the factory trucks. They're weird. Inching the steering back and forth. Alright, so will it fit? Oh god, I turned the wheel and I wanted to kind of get, on target, but I turned the wheel and it ended up being like, sorry, too much. Come on, are we ready? Uh-oh, uh-oh. Oh, geez. Straight ahead, straight ahead, straight ahead. There we go. And we're on. All right, cool. So let's see now how this truck actually does with hauling something that's fairly, fairly large. Switch to the white truck, and we'll go into advanced mode real quick and bring the ramps up. Honestly, you don't need to use the, you don't need to use the anchors. At least in my opinion, you don't need to use them. I mean, you can if you want, but you don't need to. Like, under no circumstance, well, I shouldn't say under no circumstances. There are some circumstances when you would want to use them, but do you absolutely positively need to use them? No. She pulls, though. She really pulls. That's awesome. This actually feels like it's working the truck harder than the load of lumber was working the other truck. This definitely feels like it's working it. I mean, like, I am 100% throttle in low 2, and the back end is definitely sitting down more than it did with the other... Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Are we actually stuck? That's the way it was acting. It was acting like it was stuck. And I was like, no, please, not yet. We've got more stuff to do. Come on, come on. I think the trailer's probably stuck on a rock. Yeah, the trailer's probably stuck on a rock. Truck's moving. Truck's moving. It's just kind of in a weird in-between spot. But I mean, do we know that it can move it? Yes, but is it a little bit on the is it a little bit close to the limit as far as mud towing goes for this truck? I think so. So, anyways, hope you guys did enjoy this mod test. If you did, don't forget to leave me a like. Tell me in the comments below what y'all thought of it. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe for more. You can check this mod out on the Steam Workshop, and I will see you guys next time. Talk to y'all later.